Hello, hello, and welcome to Fluent for Success. I'm your host, Stephen Kupchan, and today we're talking about a very, very crucial, important theme called the myths to learning languages. What are these myths? These myths are just bullshit excuses that you tell yourself and you create in your head that prevent you from succeeding in the language learning world, in the field of fluency, in a passion that you have not yet found or you are interested in. Let's start off with the first one. It's my favorite one. It's the one I hear all the time when people find out I speak 7 languages. They tell me all the time, "You're so good." I'm not good at languages. I don't know anything about them. What do you mean you're not good at languages? It's a lie. Your hard work will always outwork your talent. The fact that I speak these languages is not because I woke up one day or I started downloading information into my brain, or I created some sort of trick that only I know and you don't know to learning languages. There's no such thing as I'm not good at languages. It's all about hard work. If you only speak English and you tell yourself, by the end of the year, I would like to have a conversational level of Italian, then all you'll do when you wake up is find ways to learn Italian, to memorize introductory words, to learn words that will benefit you to your day-to-day living. And then in 6 months, you realize you want to learn a language outside of the Latin Roman community. Maybe you'd like to learn Arabic because you have ties to the Middle East, or you want to go work in Dubai, or you want to go travel in Egypt, and you have no idea where to start because you've only learned Spanish, French, Portuguese. All you'll do is you'll find a way to kill the bullshit excuses. I am not good at this language, or I'm not good at languages. Second excuse, second myth, I hate this one. It's very ignorant. Everyone speaks English. Is that correct? No, not everyone speaks English. Although England has ruled the world for many years and has colonies in English-speaking countries all over the world, and I know English is a very business-savvy language. However, it is not the most important language, let me tell you. If you want to go do business in China, in rural China, where high-tech is booming, it's an emerging market, I guarantee you'll need to learn Mandarin to a level where you can control the business, where you can explain yourself. English is not the only language, and it's not going to serve you in places like rural Japan or technological South Korea, or even in Sao Paulo, Brazil, where you can create a lot of money and a lot of wealth, but you'll need to learn Portuguese, or do business in Russia and Moscow, where I guarantee you at least half the population does not know a great level of English. And because your ignorance is going there, it is not important for them to know English when you go do business in such country. Or even traveling. We don't need to talk about professional world. We can say, oh, everyone speaks English, so I'm going to go travel to East Africa, or I'm going to go travel to Bolivia and use my English skills because everyone should learn English. No, you're going to them. When they come to you, it's another thing. But even then, you should be able to know something that will help you kill the barrier of communication. And stop thinking that English is the most important thing out there and it's the one that's going to create all opportunities for you, because it's wrong. The third myth, the third bullshit excuse I want to tell you is called hard to learn language as an adult. I'm too old. I'm 40 years old. I'm so old, man. I only learned English the rest of my life, No, that's wrong. As an adult, you have better analytical skills. You have more experience in memorization. You have more experience in problem solving. So these are your problems. When you start learning, for example, you want to learn Icelandic. Icelandic, according to many studies, is one of the hardest, if not the hardest language in the world. But there's always something and a way to start. There's always a way to start. Whether you want to learn all the vowels in Icelandic, all the pronunciation, the toning, and do it from 1 to 2 to 3 like that with all the steps. There's no reason why your age should prevent you from succeeding or from even starting to learn a language. There's no reason why a 50-year-old should kill their dream or give up on their bucket list because they think they are too old. Although, yes, the younger you are, before the age of 16, it shows it's better to start learning. But I guarantee you most of my viewers and most of you out there in this beautiful world will be over the age of 16, be over the age of 18, and already adults. You have day-to-day jobs, you have families, you have other endeavors that you're into, but really want to start learning languages. And I guarantee you, hard work, motivation, your why is the reason why you should really wake up every day and say, this is why I'm going to learn Spanish, even though I'm 35 years old. This is why I'm going to learn Japanese. I'm 42 years old. It does not matter. You wake up, you study your verbs, you study your adjectives, you meet people around the world in these countries, you talk to them on WhatsApp, whatever you got to do, it's up to you to do that. Another myth people tell me, I hear it all the time, I probably told myself at one point, it's so expensive to learn languages. I gotta buy textbooks, I gotta buy Rosetta Stone, I gotta invest in all these expensive programs and hundreds of dollars a month, a year, so-and-so. I gotta take university courses at Harvard to speak professional Japanese. No, it's wrong. There's so much free resources out there. There's so many things out there that you can find on Google for free. There's so many programs that only even cost $25, $35, $40. That's less than $1 a day, if not less than a cup of Starbucks or another expensive coffee a day that you'll rather purchase. I will rather make a cheap tea or a cheap coffee at home and invest this money into a $25, $35, or even $40 per month program where I can use this to better my language, to continue with the fluency and to strive in this beautiful world of learning a second, third, or fourth language. So remember, it's not too expensive to find a pen pal. It's not too expensive to subscribe to a website or a program that teaches you certain vocabulary and certain topics in language learning. And it's never too expensive to start watching free YouTube videos to teach yourself. As long as you have the time, money is not a problem. Let's talk about time. I hear people all the time, oh, I work 9 to 5, I have a son, I have a daughter, I go to school and I work at night, I don't have, listen, that's excuses. A lot of you people are traffic fighters. You work 9 to 5. You usually work in metropolitan cities where you're waiting in traffic. However, during the time you're in your car or you're on the subway commute, you're listening to music. Music is great, don't get me wrong. However, there's way more motivational and educational things you could be listening to in your headphones or in the car system than music or the radio promoting you things that you don't even need. You can put in videotapes, you can put in tapes that will teach you languages, you can put in cassettes, whatever you need to do. You can listen to podcasts in certain languages, you can have other people teach you how to learn languages other than myself and motivate you to do a lot of educational things. What I would do on my commutes when I was learning, for example, Spanish or French, is I would listen to the news in those languages. I would listen to conversation and whether I'm beginner, intermediate, or advanced in those kind of languages in my commute. While I'm doing cardio at the gym, I could listen to hip hop or trance music, or I can put in a very important dialogue between two Portuguese native speakers, or maybe I want to listen to some news in Israel in Hebrew that will promote advanced language to me and go back and forth to remember such things. Another thing people tell me is, I don't know where to start, I'm confused, I'm lost. Well, start with YouTube. I tell everyone, start with YouTube. It's free. There's an abundance of material and videos for you. There's anything from beginners introducing their culture and the languages, all the way to political, historical discussions in whatever language you seek to learn. You can always go to order something on Amazon that gives you the beginning steps to learn a language, whether you want to learn have a children's book in Spanish or French or whatever the case may be, and start going and learning and reading and highlighting that. And that's only a $10 investment. Or like I said, you can download a lot of PDFs or go on YouTube, spend 10-15 minutes a day, gradually move up to 30, and if you have the time and the willpower, you will spend at least an hour a day, which is nothing, on your language learning success. Another excuse is some languages seem impossible. What do you mean impossible? Impossible is nothing. If you want to learn Mandarin but you think it's impossible to learn it, you are wrong. There's a technique to learning every language in every language family. Just like there's a technique for the gym, just like there's a technique to fix a car, just like there's a technique to nutrition and diet, and you already know that. A lot of these people tell me, I don't know where to start, I don't know how to do it, but you've already done something else. Language learning is a technique. It could be an art, it could be a science, but it's all about finding your way, not my way, not what works for me, not what works for your professor or your brother, what works for you. Whether it's starting very simple, you can continue and strive, and please, don't give me an excuse of impossible. And last but not least, what if I fail? Mistakes? Oh, I don't want to make these mistakes. Failure is only temporary in language learning. Maybe for the first month you'll only memorize 10 to 15 words, or maybe you'll have a hard time for weeks pronouncing things. But remember, as time goes by, with practice, with continuous hard work, your pronunciation will improve, your memorization of words, your fluency will improve in those languages. There's no reason for you to say, oh, I cannot learn the 4 tones of Mandarin. Oh, I could not learn the such and such vowels of Swedish. Oh, I could not learn to introduce myself in any language at all. So remember, failure is only temporary in language learning unless you give up. And I did not create this content, and you did not get this far in this video to give up. So my friends, please, all your myths are just excuses, and I hate excuses. God bless you. I love you all. Thank you. Please subscribe to Fluent for Success. Have a wonderful day.